Your landlord does not have the right to sack you from the house. Your landlord does not have the right to remove your dresses or your items from your house. Your landlord or a landlord does not have the right to call a group of persons or the area boys to force you out of the building. The law does not give landlords such rights. The only body vested with the power to send a person or to eject a person from the house is the court. And I'm going to explain this to you in this video. Now, we encountered the same issue last year, and all the landlord said was it wasn't the court that built the house for him. Yes, the court is not the one that builds for the landlord. However, there are laws to everything in Ghana. And when it comes to rent, we go by the Rent Act of Ghana. Now, understanding the Rent Act very well, it has given steps in which a landlord can eject or sack a person out of the house. And if your landlord does not do what I'm about to say, make sure you see him, and I bet you are going to be compensated for every item actions may damage. Now, in a case your landlord wants you out of the house, this is what the law says. Your landlord would first have to write a letter to you. The landlord would have to state that he wants you out of the house and would also have to state the reasons why he wants you out of the house. Now, the second step is once you receive this letter, you are at your freedom to either move out or still stay in the building. With situations like this, we always advise you move out. However, if you still think you have right or by certain agreement, you still have the chance to stay in the house, then you are at your freedom to stay and not to move out. Now, the third step is that upon failure to move out, the landlord cannot just bring in the area boys or group of persons to remove you from the house with force. All the landlord would have to do is to write to the court. And not just that, the court is not going to order you to leave the house, except your landlord can prove to the court that for some reasons you are no more entitled to stay in the house. This is why your landlord would have to write to the court or would have to sue you. Now, Section 17 of the Rent Act has given grounds in which once you are within any of the stated grounds, it means you are not entitled by law to stay in the house. So now, once the documents are sent to the court will now invite the both of you to examine the situations to determine whether or not you fall within those grounds. In as much as it could be clear from a reasonable man's point of view that you are within those grounds, the judge will still have to come in to examine all existing factors. Now, let me give you an example. One of the reasons why your landlord can move you out of the house, aside Section 17(1), which is the fact that you've not paid, is that he wants his family members or he wants to occupy the building. Let's just use he wants his family members. So now, in as much as from a reasonable man's perspective, it could be seen that the family members are displaced and do not have anywhere to stay. Hence, they need to stay where you are. The court would still come in to analyze who a family member is per the legal definition of a family member, whether these persons that needs to be at the place you are staying or the place you have rented fall within the category of that which the law defines as a family member, and also examine if they have or whether or not they have available options before the judge gives an order for you to move out of the building. Now, once the judge examines all the existing factors and find out that you do not have legal rights to stay in the house, the judge will now issue an order for you to move out of the house with immediate effect. Now, with this order, you do not have the freedom to stay in, or you do not have the freedom to decide on whether to move out or not. This order mandates you to move out of the building. And in a case where you refuse to move out, the police or the necessary authorities would come in to drive you out of the building. And in short, this is the right way for a landlord to move a tenant out of the house. I'll be coming up with more in-depth video on the topic of rent, and feel free to ask me all your legal questions. It shouldn't be restricted to rent, so you can ask me any legal question and I'll respond to it with a video. Now, this law does not seek to give tenants powers over the landlord. However, it seeks to ensure that everyone is treated equally and respect is given to each other's fundamental human rights. And that is just it for today. If you want the best book to help you read or understand the law, then I'll recommend just one book. That is Reading the Law by lawyer Benjamin Antiedu. I'll make a number available where you can contact the shop for the book. Don't forget to follow me for more legal tips.
Hello, thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel, click on the bell, like and comment. Thank you very much.